Edvotek instructional videos, using chromatography to separate dye samples. Be sure to watch our video on packing a chromatography column before performing this experiment. You will need a pre-packed chromatography column, ring stand and clamp, dye sample, labeled sample collection tubes, and pipettes. Step 1. Check that the column is securely mounted to the ring stand, making sure that it is straight. Keep the bottom cap on the column and place an empty beaker underneath. Step 2. Carefully remove extra buffer from the top reservoir using a transfer pipette. The top of the matrix bed should now be exposed to air. Make sure to minimize disturbance of the matrix while removing buffer. Step 3. Load the column by gently pipetting the sample onto the top of the bed with a transfer pipette. Step 4. Remove the cap from the bottom spout, allowing the sample to slowly enter the bed. When the sample has completely loaded into the column, the top of the bed will be exposed to air. Step 5. Once the sample is loaded, slowly and carefully add buffer to the reservoir. As the sample continues to migrate, add fresh buffer to the reservoir to keep it full and to prevent the column from drying out. Some experiments will require more than one elution buffer. Check your experiment instructions for specifics. Step 6. Collect your fractions when the sample nears the bottom of the column. Hold your labeled tube directly under the column spout and allow 500 microliters of the eluate to drip into the tube. The tubes are graduated to help you measure the correct volume. Keep an eye on the buffer level in the reservoir. Step 7. Continue collecting 0.5 ml fractions in the sample tubes until the entire sample has passed through the column. Step 8. After all the fractions have been collected, replace the cap onto the column spout. Analyze your results as specified in the experiment protocol.